Everybody. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the first event of the second day of Cities in the Loop, the event held by Campus Party about circular economy in the city. So, let me just briefly introduce myself. I am Filippo Lubrano. I am a consultant in internationalization and innovation management. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you Slavko Bevanda, which is the CPTO and COO of ShareNow. CPTO stands for Chief Product and Technology Officer of ShareNow, which is the Europe leading free-floating car sharing provider. A couple of years ago, Slavko was appointed responsible for the product development of the company's business and customer application, as well as cloud solutions, national and international fleet management, including logistics, damage, and claims. Before joining this new car sharing business, he was product manager at Smart and held numerous positions within the Daimler and in the first decade of the years 2000. So thanks a lot for joining us, Slavko.
Thank you, Filippo. Thank you for having me with you. So it's great to be here and really a pleasure.
Great. So since the schedule is pretty tight, I would just suggest to dive in immediately into our topics. We all know where car sharing originates. So cars are active around 6% of our waking time. So there's a huge potential for turning the highly inefficient process of car ownership into something different, which is car sharing precisely. So what is ShareNow's unique selling point in this market that has become highly competitive in these years?
The USP from my side is clearly, from our perspective, is the huge flexibility we are offering our customers. Means you can pick up a car wherever you want it to have it within a defined business area, and you can as well drop it at any point in time when you want to give it back to us. And we have full flexibility. We are offering minute-based rentals, starting with minute-based, going over our packages, up to 30-day rentals, what we can offer here. And the approach and our vision is clearly, as you said, let's reduce the car ownership. This is the way that's what we clearly want to achieve and improve the way of living in the cities.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree on that. By the way, I just remind that we have, of course, a comment section, and we will be able to see all the comments. So if you have any questions, of course, I would be more than open to share with Slavko as well. Slavko, do you see any chance to spread this sharing business also to other vehicles other than the ones you already moved to, such as, for example, trucks in the future?
Yes, of course. There are huge and plenty of opportunities from our side. As you said, today we are running cars. We have a huge variety of models and brands in our fleet. But beside that, the technology and the platform we have built with our customer-facing application, plus the back-end tools to manage the assets, it's easily to connect trucks, vans, scooters, whatever you have in mind. And this is as well one of our targets and ambitions for the near future or close future, to get and integrate other forms of mobility or work here with partners. That's where we're really open. Yeah? So there are a lot of opportunities here.
Great. So we are in the sharing economy area as a whole, I would say. What do you think is the potential value added of a car sharing company in order to build up a new mindset regarding mobility and the approach of sustainability?
Very, very good question. Car2Go, finally, in the past, was founded in 2008. Yeah, when that was clearly the point where the car sharing mobility started. Yeah, we learned a lot during the last decade from Drive Now and Car2Go perspective. Yeah, what we can do here is clearly, and it's already proven, we are reducing the number, the ownership of cars in the cities up to 20 cars. That's what we can do. We see this. We are offering to our customers a much more efficient usage of the assets. And last but not least, we have as well pure electrified cities, means electric and driving cars only in the fleet. We have a huge impact on changing the driving impact. The customers had the first touch points with electric cars in 2011, for instance, in Amsterdam, and they could get used to the new way of transportation with electric cars.
Cool. Okay. Which are the cities that we were talking about? Cities in the loop. So, which are the cities that in Europe and maybe worldwide that you see that are already moving forward in this new approach towards car sharing and sustainability as a whole?
Mhm. There are of course a lot of cities moving in that direction. Amsterdam was one of the first cities moving in that direction already years ago. We had always a great collaboration with that city. Hamburg is strongly moving as well into that direction in terms of creating a platform to connect all the different mobility forms. Means let's get multimodal. What do I mean with multimodal is let's use the different forms of mobility, train, scooters, or as car sharing as well, and define your own way of moving forward, moving on in the city. Paris, strong mover on that point. There we have as well a pure electric city with defining a totally new setup as well here. And beside that, of course, as well in Madrid, we're very strong represented with a pure electric fleet as well. And this is as always a very good and strong collaboration with the city, but we want to improve together with the city the way of mobility.
Absolutely. So I understand that most of the biggest cities, I would say, in Europe are already covered by your offer. I would say that in order to enable the real switch towards this approach of car sharing, we also need to tackle not just the tier one cities in Europe, but also the tier two, tier three. On this side, I think from an economic point of view, it's more difficult to have like a fleet operating and of course being profitable as well on those cities. Which are your targets, for example, in Southern Europe or stuff like that, in order to assess and take also this market?
Mm-hmm. I mean, for instance, we're operating a smaller city, let's say it like this, Turin, it's performing very, very good and very strong in Italy. And it's not, as you said, one of the tier one cities. Beside that, we're always looking into new cities. We're optimizing. We optimized our setup in the last few years, especially from a technological standpoint. Means we are fully independent. Everything's 100% in-house built, so that we really can have the most efficient processes. In combination with the BI engine, means artificial intelligence we are having in our systems and the algorithms, we are in the meantime very strong and very efficient in defining how many cars are needed in a city and to provide really the minimum size or the optimum size, let's name it like this, to the city to operate very efficient and profitable. And this brings us as well into the position to tackle mid-sized cities, tier two cities, what you're mentioning. And we are right now looking pretty closely at such cities. What are possible cities we want to grow in there? One point. And with having that software platform in the background, we want to as well grow with franchise partners. Means let's go for strong partnerships where there might be somebody who wants to operate, set up a car sharing business in a mid-sized city. Then let's do it together. We're bringing the technology, we're supporting them, and create a new set up the mobility platform in a tier two city. That's the vision behind it. And I'm pretty optimistic that some announcements will happen as well this year.
Wow, very, very good, very exciting. Can't wait to have also a fleet, a share now fleet in La Spezia, which is my hometown.
Let's talk afterwards about it.
So, of course, sustainability is also about innovation, and innovation now one of the key topics. Let's say the smart trends is about AI. So, how can AI help make sustainable mobility even better?
Mm-hmm. AI is one of the key success factors from my side to improve the mobility and especially the customer experience. And that's in the end what it's about. Yeah? With collecting the data, always totally GDPR compliant, but collecting the data and where the cars are, for instance, where's the probability very high that the cars will be picked up, we can define the best business area to operate and set up a city on the one side. We can steer and manage it, for instance. We have a clear visibility where the demand is very high, what are business or city areas where the demand is a bit lower. So means we can steer it very efficient, where we should make sure that the majority of the fleet is available so that a customer have the cars pretty close to him by the AI engine we have in the background on the one side. And we can support this process as well with our flexible pricing model we have defined. Yes, so to support customers in terms of if there is an area where, for instance, the probability is not so high that a customer would pick up the car, we can reduce automatically with our AI, optimize the price to incentivize the customer, means customer experience as well on one side to improve the customer experience based on a better price. And he supports us to bring the car to a different business area. And last but not least, of course, it's about cleaning, that the customer as well have a very, very good customer experience. When does a car should be cleaned? There we are as well using pretty good AI engine in the background. And last but not least, since we're talking as well about sustainable mobility, we can clearly define and manage and support together with the city where should the electric charging infrastructure set up so that a reasonable infrastructure is as well available in the city.
Very good. Thanks a lot for your answer. Looking forward a little bit more in terms of the time horizon on this, I'm really interested in understanding your point on self-driving cars. When do you foresee they will be widespread at worldwide level? And how do you think it will transform your business model?
Let me start maybe first of all, if it's okay for you, with the transformation of our business model. This will be a huge change. From my perspective, it will be clearly a game changer for the customers, for the city as well, because the most important, imagine you as a car sharing customer, today you have to walk to a car. We are trying to optimize it so that the walking distance is not so far, but nevertheless, in the future, as soon as autonomous cars are here, you don't have to walk anymore to the car. You will just simply define as a customer your pickup point. The cars will come automatically to you. When you want to end your car rental, you simply decide to stop your drive, get out at your target destination, and you do not have to look for a parking spot, saving time finally, and a huge customer experience improvement from your side. For us as a car sharing business operator, of course, a huge improvement in terms of probably we could use less cars, means once again, reduce the congestion in the city because the cars will permanently moving around. We can improve as well the processes to clean up the cars, to maintain the cars, because the car can everything, whenever it makes sense, go automatically to a workshop or to a garage, and we can fix the stuff. This is a huge change from my perspective. When we are, of course, keen on it. We worked as well in the past on different pilot projects here as well, means from a technological perspective to run and operate such a fleet. We are pretty close. We could do this, maybe not as of tomorrow, but we already have some huge learnings during those pilots. When would I see it? I would say probably 5 to 10 years. This is a period what I could see. On the one side, due to technological requirements on the car side, but as well simply legal requirements. You have so many stuff to discuss and agree on the legal side as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I think on this side, I mean, technologically speaking, I think we're really close to this kind of solution. Maybe in terms of regulation, we will be a little bit later than, for example, some states of the US or China, which is a little bit ahead in terms of regulation on that side. So absolutely,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a whole, how do you see the future of mobility and car sharing look like?
As a whole, from the vision, what I would see, as I said, we from Share Now side want to improve the life of the citizens in the city. That's the clear approach. And all the different mobility forms will grow closer and come closer together from our perspective. Means, I titled it just a few minutes ago, multimodal, means all the different mobility platforms will probably merge together in one bigger software platform. That's why the Now Group, for instance, was as well founded with our sister companies as well, where we can look for a pretty close collaboration. It means you as a customer will open one app to give you a clear full visibility. You will choose whatever fits the best to your use, to your route. Means let's jump on a car, drive to a specific point, then you smoothly will change from a car to the public transportation system. Might be a bus or a train or finally to go for the last mile, maybe even a scooter. And everything will be available and connected between the different mobility providers, and everything will be available on one software platform.
Okay, very cool. There are some questions that are popping out.
Cool.
There's Sarah, which is asking, I love car sharing, but I have a big family. It's not easy to manage groceries or move them with a share car. Do you have a solution for this?
Not as of today. I mean, we have bigger cars, and this is really a very, very good question. I mean, we're looking as well into such models. Sarah, means what you, Filippo, asked me at the beginning. Do you see opportunities to integrate maybe trucks or whatever on your platform? And these are, of course, ideas we're having as well in our mind. Maybe go for vans or bigger cars with the, let's say, not the biggest fleet maybe, but as well to offer such needs and cover them as well in the city. That's a clear way what we can do to connect such cars or new different mobility platforms and bring them to our platform. That's a pretty easy step. Yeah.
Okay. So other question is from Pietro. Thank you very much. Great project. If I too wanted to create a company like yours in a different market, where should I start?
Where should you start? Let's start together. We're always happy. Maybe it's a nice idea to work together. As I said some minutes ago, we're working on we have a pretty mature technology platform. It's quite complex solution. We have 100 software engineers in our hand working permanently on that software platform. To give you an idea, we're talking here about really a modern software architecture comprising 250 microservices and probably even a few more. Yeah, there's fleet management, there's customer data, IDs, etc., which need to be verified, and last but not least, of course, to cover the payment process. So it means it's really complex. But we want to share and support, work together with companies and give them access to the platform. Means if you want to start such a company, let's start maybe conversations between the two of us separately, look and figure out what kind of business you want to start. And let's talk as well about using our software technology as a franchise concept might be an idea, or simply get your own brand started or define it. And we can as well look how we could maybe define a suitable solution for you as well.
Great. I think this is very useful for also the target audience that is connected right now. And also still on this topic, let's say, did you have any merger and acquisition in the last years? Which are the companies that you're targeting maybe in this period in order to enlarge your you were describing a little bit more the business model in detail. So which are some verticals that are really interested in at Share Now?
In the last 2 years, we on Share Now side didn't have an M&A activity. I mean, we were founded, so keep in mind, Share Now itself is a pretty young company. We have been merged together, created out of Drive Now and Cardigo. So it's from a company perspective and technology perspective, we're really to bring everything together on one platform. We did it in a very good way, and that's where we wanted as well to join the forces. Means right now we're operating in 16 cities. Yeah, but as you said, we are always open. Are there some different mobility players? Yeah, might be for the last mile concept, might be as well software solutions which we could integrate into our platform to easy, or might be as well alternative transportation solution, which was asked, for instance, by yourself about trucks or maybe vans. Yeah, whatever is here on the street, we are open for this. Yeah. And if it's interesting and suits to our strategy, then we will do the move.
Great. Another question, which is pretty unexpected, is for me. Does Mr. Lebrun own a car? I do. Actually, it's not my choice. We were talking about this with Slavko some minutes ago. Actually, in cities like mine, there are not many options where the public transportation is not very well developed. If you need to work and go to places which are not very well connected, of course, there are not many options other than owning a car. But I would be very happy to get rid of it, because I know it's highly inefficient, both from an economic and, of course, also from an ecological point of view. So we're looking forward for Share Now in our city.
Cool. Let's talk afterwards about it, Filippo. Exactly.
Absolutely. The questions are on this side are over. I just wanted to know a little bit more about the team at Share Now. If you can share something about how many people are employed now at Share Now, which are, if you have many, for example, some open positions that someone might apply to if they're interested in joining your team.
Yes, of course. Happy to share here some insights. We are around 470, 460 mobility enthusiasts. Everybody is really keen on changing the way of living in the cities and make sure that we're influencing here and moving the mobility into the right direction. So means keep in mind roughly around 460, 470 employees. The tech department, which I'm heading, is one of the biggest teams. We're talking here about 150 team members. That's one point. Around 100, 110 software engineers, product managers, UX engineers. But beside that, of course, marketing is there on board. Finance is needed to make everything is running smoothly. Business developers we're having in our team as well. Strong, great team members. We're pushing forward, looking always into new cities or new business models, which might be very interesting for us. New positions? Yes, of course. There are open positions on tech side, on product side, business development side, or on marketing side. And what I'm really very proud of is about offering the flexible working solutions. We are, for instance, from a product perspective, I just started with my team together 1 or 2 months ago. We opened up, let's say, the first hub in Spain, where we want to start and hire as well team members. And beside that, we have always the flexibility to hire team members in the markets and regions we are operating, like Madrid, Italy. There are always interesting positions. And happy if you have something or somebody's interested afterwards, reach out to me.
Very good, very good. I think it's very, very interesting also for the people that are connected, of course, to join such a young company, which is so ambitious in terms of developing its own dream and its own plan in giving the people the new possibility of moving in a different way, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I thank you very much, Slavko, for your time. I think it was very useful and very insightful for the people here. And thanks a lot to Campus Party team for organizing this great event. So look forward to seeing the next moves of Share Now. And of course, I think Slavko is open to receive any kind of inquiries on LinkedIn, where people can join you.
Exactly, on LinkedIn. Happy, just reach out to me, connect. And thank you as well for having me here, to the team, to the Filippo. It was a pleasure to talk to you and to be part here of the Campus Party event. So cool.
Same here. Thanks a lot, Slavko, and thanks a lot to the people that listen to this conversation.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.